The word is that Victor Wembanyama is getting a lot of praise. Some are even saying he may be the best they've gotten since LeBron James. But Wembanyama doesn't seem to agree with this. Let's look at the hype Wembanyama has been getting and why he thinks he still has some goals left to reach. To start with, Victor Wembanyama thinks he still has some stuff to do. It started on Thursday this week when Victor Wembanyama's teammates pulled him aside to show him a video of LeBron James while also calling him a generational talent and an alien. Wembanyama, a 7'4" talent from France who came to America for the first time this week and impressed fans and NBA executives altogether, said he has a long way to go. According to him, he still needs to work on his game before people can start giving him praises like these. After his team beat G League Ignite 112-106 at Dollar Loan Center, he said he's actually pretty grateful that people have been saying nice things about him, but it doesn't change much. He thinks he needs to work on his game, pay more attention, and reach even higher, and he hasn't done any of that yet. Coming up, Wembanyama has been doing pretty good. Scoot Henderson, who is expected to be the number 2 pick in the NBA draft next summer and is the leader of the G League Ignite, hurt his knee early in Thursday's game and had to leave, but Wembanyama became the star of the show. He finished with 36 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 4 assists in a 112-106 win, while French basketball player Rudy Gobert, who plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves and is a good friend of Wembanyama's, watched from the stands. Wembanyama was more aggressive when he went for the basket, but he was still able to hit shots in rhythm with a set of skills that NBA reps who were there said they'd never seen from a player that size. It was practically insane. On Tuesday, G League Ignite beat him 112-115 in the same building. He scored 37 points and made 7 of 11 three-point shots. At that game, Chelsea Gray, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeMarcus Cousins were all in the front row. What's more, Wembanyama thinks he needs to stay focused. Last Wednesday night, after the Phoenix Suns beat the Los Angeles Lakers 119-115 in a preseason game at T-Mobile Arena, James had a few things to say. Apparently, a lot of people have been noticing Wembanyama's talents. For the past 2 years, everyone has been a unicorn. But the way James put it is that Wembanyama is more like an alien. James has never seen anyone on the floor who is as tall as he is and moves as fluidly and gracefully as he does. Victor Wembanyama can put the ball on the floor, shoot step-back jumpers from the post, step-back three-pointers, catch and shoot three-pointers, and block shots. He's definitely a once-in-a-generation talent. But Wembanyama said he needs to keep getting better and not let all the talk about his potential get to him. He says he hasn't played in an NBA game yet, which is something he's striving for. Later, Thursday night, he went to the Lakers-Timberwolves game and was seen shaking hands with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. He needs to do everything he can at this point to stay focused on his goals to reach them, because it will be hard to get better every day and keep doing the same thing. Not to mention, Shaquille O'Neal says beating someone like him is tricky. Sharif O'Neal made his G League Ignite debut on Thursday and scored 8 points. He said he called his dad Shaquille O'Neal to ask for advice on how to stop Wembanyama, but it turns out Sharif O'Neal could possibly be out of luck this time. O'Neal's dad said the tallest person he had ever played against was either Menate Bol or Yao Ming. The truth is that he hasn't really played any player like Wembanyama before, because not many players his size can move as well as he does. What Sharif O'Neal will have to concentrate on is being aggressive. Victor is a little taller, so the best tactic would be to try to get in his face and into him. I did my best to make that happen. To be honest, that's not much though. You can't blame Shaquille O'Neal though, because he never played against someone that size who could shoot that well and had skills like that. Next, Kevin Durant joins in on the praise while Wembanyama becomes a star in America. On Thursday, Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant said that the talent Victor has just made you smile if you play basketball because the game has come so far. When he joins in, you just know the league is in a lot of trouble. Stephen Curry says Victor's like the NBA 2K create a player mode, where every point guard wants to be 7 feet tall. It actually feels like a cheat code. Wembanyama has a lot going on, and it's fun to see. Overall, Wembanyama said that his trip to the United States was better than he had hoped. It made him famous. He says his experience has been amazing so far, and he honestly couldn't think of more ways it could have been better. Maybe if they had won on Tuesday, it would have been perfect, but he doesn't feel too bad about it. He seems pretty grateful to the people who made it possible for them to come to America. And now for Victor Wembanyama being considered the best NBA draft prospect since LeBron James. First up, Gilbert McGregor thinks Victor is definitely different. In the past 20 years, there have been a lot of good draft prospects, but Wembanyama seems to be the best. Kyle, Davis, Williamson, and even Luka Doncic Doncic, who, in hindsight, probably should have gone first overall, as other draft prospects who had a lot of hype before they even played in the NBA. But the buzz about Wembanyama seems to be different, and for very valid reasons. To put it this way, Wembanyama was recently measured at 7 feet 4 inches tall, barefoot, with an 8-foot wingspan. He uses his length to block everything near the basket, but he's still quick enough to defend the perimeter. Oh, and he plays forward on offense. He has a jump shot that is as smooth as silk, and the ability to create for himself while dribbling. In the modern world, information spreads in a matter of seconds, and most trends end when the public gets tired of them and moves on to the next thing. We all first heard about Wembanyama years ago, but because we've never seen anyone else like him, he stayed in the minds of basketball fans ever since. His unique body and basketball skills make him a one-of-a-kind player who can't be passed up. We know that whichever team gets Wembanyama will turn their luck around right away, just like LeBron did 20 years ago. That's how important he is as a prospect. Up next, Kyle Irving seems to have some doubts. What he says is that his mind immediately thinks of Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson when he thinks about some of the most anticipated prospects since LeBron. Wembanyama is kind of further along in his development than either of those two players, though. Davis was a freak as a freshman at Kentucky, where he led the Wildcats to a national championship, but even though he was great on defense, many people were worried about how his offensive game would work in the NBA. Davis could not handle the ball or make his own shot as easily as Wembanyama does, but even though he would eventually become a true inside-out threat. Even though Williamson was physically the best player at Duke, there were always questions about whether he could defend in the NBA. These questions still haven't been answered to this day because of injuries and people not being able to help. The only thing that worries people about Wembanyama is how long he will last, which is normal for a person of his size, but other than that, there aren't many things wrong with this prospect's talent and skills on the court. Finally, NBA draft experts all agree on one thing. Let's face it, NBA draft experts don't always pick the right players, but if a lot of smart people tell you the same thing, you might want to pay attention. Wembanyama right now is the most talked about NBA prospect since LeBron James in 2003, and he's the overwhelming favorite to be the first pick in the 2023 NBA draft. At this point, he'll probably be the best player ever brought in from outside the United States, even better than Luka Doncic and two-time MVP Nikola Jokic. Gil and Kyle talked about some great prospects from the past. Wembanyama might never reach the heights of Davis, Doncic, or Williamson in the NBA. The thing is, because of his size, there is a chance he will get hurt, and he might not live up to the hype. But then again, this is a game of guessing. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about Victor Wembanyama being called the best NBA draft prospect since LeBron James? Let us know in the comments below. Also, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like these.
See you at the next one.